Sanskrit is an ancient and classical language in India in which ever first book of the world, Rigveda, was compiled. Panini was a great landmark in the development of Sanskrit language. Sanskrit is said to belong to Indo-Aryan or Indo-Germanic family of languages which includes Greek, Latin and other alike languages. As per the Indian tradition, Sanskrit has no beginning and no ending. It is eternal, self-born. God has created it. It is divine. It is everlasting. It was used in Vedas and thereafter it has been the means of expression in other fields. Sanskrit has been the source of letter, languages and literature in India. In this video, we are going to learn the lines of some of the prominent Sanskrit writers. Bharavi was a 6th century Indian poet known for his epic Kirtasunjanya, one of the six Mahakavyas in classical Sanskrit. Those who mean well for others do not want to please them by false praise. The wise are indifferent as to who uttered the words. They judge the words by their inherent quality. The abundance, affluence, coexist with valor, not with melancholy or absence of enthusiasm. Do not embark on an endeavor on the spur of the moment without analyzing its pros and cons. The absence of discrimination is the cause of great misfortune. Fortune, ever greedy for good qualities in men, embraces those who engage themselves in an endeavor after consultations and discussions with men of knowledge. For those who follow in the footsteps of great men possessing highly desirable qualities, even a downfall on account of fate and not involving wrongdoings is equal to rising higher in status. Achievement, it seems, is enthusiastic to sit on the lap of those who engage themselves diligently in an endeavor without caring for fame, happiness, or rise in popularity. There is nothing which will tire out or disturb the mind of high minded persons. Unlucky persons disregard what is already at hand. Youth is fleeting like the clouds of autumn. The pleasures of the senses are sweet in the beginning but yield bitter results in the end. When one's loved one is absent, beautiful things seem ugly. What one likes, including one's own life, becomes a pain. One feels lonely even in the midst of one's relatives. The enemies resident in the body, namely the sense organs, like the eyes, which are difficult to control, should be conquered. Once they are conquered, it is as good as the whole world has been conquered by you. Magha was a Sanskrit poet at King Varlamata's court at Shrimala, the then capital of Gujarat. Great men by nature do not talk much. In the case of one who is satisfied with a little wealth, even fate thinks it has done its job and does not increase his wealth. One who lives even after one has been scourged by the humiliation showered on him by others is as good as dead. The undertakings of those who are careless and negligent never bear fruit, though they have used proper means. Even small people can get their work done with the help of the big people. Beauty is that which takes on a new form every minute. Sriharsha was a 12th century Indian philosopher and poet. Sriharsha's works discuss various themes in Indian philosophy such as Paramana. One who is satisfied with water will not appreciate a pouring of cool water, sweet in taste and smell. Oratory speech, which is measured and at the same time pregnant with meaning. Straightforwardness is not the right policy when people of crooked mind are concerned. Shudraka was an Indian playwright to whom three Sanskrit plays are attributed: Mrich Karitikata, Vinasa Vasavadatta, and Bhana Padam Prabhiritika. If I have to choose between death and penury, I will choose death, not penury. Death involves only a little distress, but penury brings unending physical and mental agony. If one is poor, his relatives don't heed his words. Even loving friends neglect him. His misfortunes spread out, his physical and mental strength shrinks. The moon of his good conduct becomes pale, and even the wrongs committed by others are foisted onto him. It is because of one's qualities one is loved, not because of force. Bhavbhuti was an 8th century scholar of India noted for his plays and poetry written in Sanskrit. The meeting of good people with good people somehow happens only by punya. The hearts of the best of men, who are a cut above the ordinary people, are harder than diamond and softer than flowers. Who can understand the hearts of such men? Without doing anything, if anyone converts the sorrow of another person into joy and happiness, then the first one, who is the object of love for the second one, is a valuable thing for the later. Good qualities are appreciated in whomsoever they are found. The sex or the age of the person is not taken into consideration. Speech that is embellished by truth and love yields all one's wishes, drives away poverty, builds a reputation, prevents wrongdoings, in the same way as the cow mother which yields all auspicious things. When the woman one loves is lost, the whole world turns into a dense jungle for the one who loves. It is some internal cause which brings together people. Love does not depend upon external attributes. The lotus blossoms when the sun rises. The moonstone starts melting when exposed to moonlight. Vishakadatta was an Indian Sanskrit poet and playwright. Mudra Rakshasa is Vishakadatta's only surviving play, although there exist fragments of another work ascribed to him. It is not proper to disregard or neglect an ordinary enemy. How does a man who is under the control of another know the joy of love? Dandi or Dandin was an Indian Sanskrit grammarian and author of prose romances. He is one of the best known writers in Asian history. The glittering wealth is like the bubbles on water. Like lightning, it rises suddenly and perishes with the same speed. In this world, one who does not put in effort does not acquire wealth. All prosperity and welfare is always in the hands of those who are always active, who do not know laziness. Bana, or also known as Bana Bhatta, was a 7th century Sanskrit prose writer and poet of India. He was the Ashtakavi in the court of the Emperor Harsh. The angry person, though possessing eyes, is blind. There are no such persons who do not have friends, enemies, or neutrals, even though such persons possesses good qualities. Love does not consider use or benefit. It is not possible that one who is subject to the vagaries of a body will not ever suffer any disease or discomfort. It is easy to preach to others. People do not listen to one who talks too much. Untruth takes the same form as the one given to it by people. Rajashekharan calls himself not a Mahakavi but Kaviraj, a Sanskrit poet who lived in India in the 12th century AD. His chief works are Raghava Pandayavaya and Parijataharana. Generally, for the living, there is no bondage except love. The plant should be got examined by outsiders. The argument is what the neutral person sees, the one who executes may not see most of the time. Actions not done at the appropriate time do not yield the desired result. In the mirror of the poet's mind, there is the reflection of the world. The right kind of sleep is good for a very healthy body. Narayana Pandita was an Indian mathematician and he was considered to be the most significant Sanskrit mathematician who wrote mathematics treatise after those of Bhaskara's second. One's goal is achieved by industry and not by building castles in the air. Without action, knowledge is a burden. Thank you.